Anyways,
It's kind of like, and boom goes the dynamite.
what's that from? Are we gonna swap that out for the flex bomb?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. You never.
What's cracking? Nah, I don't know what that's from.
So, there was this amateur sports reporter in, I believe, Indiana, and he was covering an NBA game.
Yeah.
I don't recall exactly what year and what game, but it was somewhere in the 90s.
Yeah.
And Reggie Miller was hitting a lot of threes. And the guy that was reporting on it was like nervous. Dang, I said like. He was nervous. I was trying really hard not to.
It's all good. Work in progress.
He was nervous because it was his first time on air, and he's covering
Reggie.
He's covering Reggie. He's like, he's on air. Like he's
Yo, you're overthinking it now.
But yeah. Every time Reggie hit a three, he would be trying to report on the game, but he couldn't keep up because Reggie was moving too fast, and that was making him more nervous. So Reggie hit a three, and he'd be like, and boom goes the dynamite. Like, just in that voice. Like, no excitement. Just, and
regular.
Boom goes the dynamite. Up, pass to Reggie, and boom goes the dynamite. Like, it was just hilarious.
Was that the game where he scored 8 points in 6 seconds or something, or 9 points in 6 seconds?
I don't think so.
Oh.
But it was pretty funny.
True.
Wop.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I believe this is episode 21. I want to say I'm still looking forward to the fight, but welcome to everybody who hasn't listened before.
Womp.
It's 10-second reviews.
Womp, babaloo, bada womp.
Go through albums, pick an album, listen to every track, just the first 10 seconds. Give our thoughts based on the first 10 seconds, see where it goes. Green, blue, white, red, and black chips. And in order, they are worth 3, 2, 1, and 0 points. The black chip just means we're not listening to any more of your album. If you like it, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Yeah. We'd appreciate it.
Just press all the buttons on the bottom.
Except for the dislike button. Actually, you can dislike it if you want. I don't care. Because I'm here doing my thing. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, but if you hit like first, just skip over.
It counts.
It does count. It does count. But yeah, just hit all the buttons. The share button, text it.
Yep.
IMDb it. I don't even think we're on IMDb, but
we should put ourselves on IMDb.
That might be a lot.
We could just.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, because it would be like Kanye running for president. So now he has the bar. So you're talking to a presidential candidate. So you say, sure. Y'all podcast is whack. You don't got no followers. We on IMDb though. Are you?
That's a good point.
Yeah, you gotta. That's that 3D chess. You got to make sure you got something in the back pocket for somebody to say something to you. Huh? And then you just.
You are right. You are right indeed.
It's the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch.
You know what we got to do today?
What's that?
The one we skipped over to do T.I.'s Esoteric album.
The Black Thought, or are you talking about Benny?
The Benjamin Scissor Hands.
Benjamin the Baker.
Benjamin the Bakery Cutter.
Yeah, all right.
I'm trying too hard. Benny the Butcher. We can do Black Thought.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Where'd it go? And they must have taken it off because we skipped over it so many times.
That would be funny if Black Duckwrth.
What does Duckwrth do? Is he a rapper?
Raps. He's actually.
We can check it out.
I've never actually heard a Duckwrth project.
All right, so we going Black Thought, or I would flip this coin, but I don't want to get damaged. So
I bet you don't.
Black Thought or Duckwrth. Yo, you're hilarious.
I got a new case and it's solid, so
nice.
All right. Face up, Duckwrth. Face down.
Black
Thought.
You sure you don't want me to just
Duckwrth?
All right, Duckwrth it is.
Hey, look.
Reek has a death wish for his phone as well.
It's a material item. If it breaks, Hey, it breaks. If I break it, I break it.
You
I'll
know
repair it.
who? Oh, you know that Larry had 3 albums this year, and we only did one of them. So he has 2 others that came out this year, which
Yep.
means that he's probably going to drop a 4th before the year's up.
Yeah.
But all right, okay, we got Duckwrth. The album features Gene Doe, Keon, Julia Romana, Glam, GLAM,
Earth Gang,
Earth Gang, Kyle Dion, Alex. Was that Maji?
Alex Molly.
Oh, Molly. Want. Radio Ali and Bailey.
I'm going to call this episode Remember the Time.
Album's called SuperGood. Can't name. We don't got a title yet.
Okay.
Album's
based
called
off the question.
SuperGood.
I'm sorry.
16 tracks, 44 minutes.
Okay.
What?
Sorry. I didn't mean to keep interrupting you, but I was basing it off the questions that I was writing to ask.
Oh, yeah, we'll get something good will come up. Something good will come up.
I got some good questions. Start the juice.
Bet.
Couple good questions.
All right, well,
some stories.
fire one off.
Hold on. Let me write Duckwrth and SuperGood.
All right. Scribble, scrabble. Well,
but I feel like we should let our audience know a little bit more about us.
interesting thought. Go on.
You know, let's tell more. Yeah, talk about yourselves.
So are you leading up to a question you're about to ask, or you just telling me to talk about myself?
No, I'm just saying it is leading up to some of the questions that I've written.
Fire
yes,
away.
But, you know, people like to see the things that people have gone through or hear about them, you know, to get a perspective on how they might think, how they might move, how might give them some understanding on thought processes and movements. And relatability.
You're funny. I like it, though.
I literally am just like...
Freestyling?
Yeah.
That's all good. Let's go.
But...
Fire away. What is question number... We need a drum machine. A drum roll. Number 1.
Just making sure I spelled Duckworth right. Question number 1. What is the first genre of music that someone else put you onto?
Yes. It was yes. Jazz. My dad.
Oh, jazz.
Yeah.
I thought that was like some prog-ish
Nah.
thing.
It was... maybe not.
Jazz is easy. I mean, like someone that you weren't related to, like in life later on, like some stuff that you never heard of before. Like you've heard of jazz as a child, you might not have listened to it, but you've heard the word jazz before.
It's all my dad listened to, but I'll give you a one better. I could take it further back and say Afrobeat, because we used to live in Nigeria, and
Word.
Fela Kuti used to come to our house and jump in the pool with his many wives. So, does that count?
See, this is why we need to tell our fans about us.
International Ream.
International Ream. That's crazy.
That was going to be my stage name at one point.
That's catchy. It's just kind of long. It's a mouthful. So you just got to be a mouthful. Pause. That was a faint one. I'll take it. That one's a little bit. Actually, nah.
That was a good it was a good joke. God damn, it's loud than a mug. That was a good it was a good joke. It's a nice little, you know.
I wasn't even... See, the thing is, I don't even be trying to make jokes when I make jokes.
I know. That's
and
why
people
it's
be
funny.
laughing, and I'd be like, what?
Oh, I didn't mean to pick that again. I did not. I apologize.
Cheer for Tariq
Yerp.
and the things that come out of his mouth.
For sure. What about you? What's the first genre?
First genre that I was introduced to
Mm-hmm.
by someone else.
Sounds like a girlfriend, but
No. This was when I was going to school out in Rockville. And there was a young man there who was into what I was told is white noise.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. Oh, wait. That's put me on to, not introduced to. Okay. Rewind. That's my own question.
What's the difference?
How did I mess that up? Introduce means it's just like, oh, that exists.
Yeah.
Put you on to is like, oh, this exists and I like it.
Interesting.
You know? It's like you hop on the bandwagon versus you watch it go by. I acknowledge
I
its
got you.
existence. Okay. But yeah, to put me on to, I would probably have to say, no, yeah, a friend put me on to like metal. There's like,
Yeah.
or like heavy, hard, like heavy rock. That was actually
Yeah.
at I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm not done the thought. It was actually when I was in Rockville too, we had to record this band that was like a metal band, but they were all like in their 40s and over, and obese white dudes. And like
OB City.
yeah, but like as I was just sitting there watching them with the lights going, and they were just fat, couldn't move. They had 3 fans come, which was like their wife, a friend, and then his girl, which was funny enough because apparently his friend and his girl was going crazy in the bathroom, like no one knew, and there was only one bathroom in the school, and it's not even a school; it's a studio.
You mean going crazy like
Yeah.
drugs or sex? So sex.
Yeah,
During the
because
session?
of the drugs before.
Oh, wow.
Like they were saying because
Yeah. I got you.
they were allowed to have a couple of fans come and watch them because we were recording it. They agreed to do a recording session for the students, but it was like, we'll give y'all the video. Y'all can promote yourselves
So
and
you
whatever.
guys made it. You're in a real studio. Oh my God. Let's go in the bathroom.
A studio that Kelly Rowland recorded a song with Joe Budden.
Shout out to Mouse.
Yeah, shout out to the Joe Budden. Or is that Mouse?
That's Mouse.
Oh. Shout out to Kelly Rowland, man. But, yeah, I watched them perform.
Who was low-key
was
the
magical.
finest out of the original Destiny's Child. Don't at me.
I'll let y'all take that one. But, yeah. I watched them perform. The energy was crazy, and I just loved it.
Bet.
And they're like the only metal people that I've listened to since.
Yeah, I would say
Maybe it was nostalgia. Maybe that's what it was.
could be. For me, I guess outside of the Fela when I was mad young, after we moved back to the area, I went to school in Chevy Chase, and I got introduced to Green Day and then Nirvana by my best friend.
Ooh.
So,
It's
but the
funny.
thing is though, my favorite song around that same time was Welcome to the Jungle. So it wasn't really, yeah. It's not really like a new genre. The Green Day is kind of a new genre, but I don't necessarily consider Nirvana a significant departure from Guns N' Roses. To me, like they're close enough to not be a new genre.
I feel it.
So,
And we recorded a lot of metal bands for some reason, but
that's
they
who
were
got money
young.
for studio time.
No, it was free
Oh.
because it was just volunteer like bands around Bethesda and Rockville.
Well, they got the plug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all children of the Caucasus Islands. But
you stay with that.
hey, it's a place.
I mean, it is.
It's up there on the cutting board.
Oh God, it's bad for it.
Excuse me. But definitely that. I've always liked rock music for some reason. Not for some reason, because it's good music. Like, I remember, even though this was, Rock Band. My friend used to have Rock Band. Friend Miles, shout out to Miles.
What up, Miles?
Big homie.
That was my best friend's name in it was Miles and Meredith. I'm trying to think of where that was. I think that was Minnesota. Continue on.
But yeah, Miles, my Caribbean friend, my Caribbean brother. I used to go over his house all the time, and he had Rock Band. He had the drum set, the guitar, and a mic. I would either rock out on a drum set or the mic, because
Nice.
that was the first time I ever heard a song by NERD too.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what the name of the song was, because I used to love those lyrics, and I was like, I never knew who Pharrell was back then, but I was like, who's this Pharrell Williams guy?
Right.
He sounds weird, but I like it. And they had Carry On My Wayward Son. Oh my God, by Kansas.
I don't know that song.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
That sounds familiar with the melody.
It was on South Park.
Oh, okay.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion.
You're in your bag right now.
I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. No, that's all I remember for right now. That's all y'all get for free.
You're in your bag. You sure you don't need to start writing some rock records?
Those were not lyrics of mine.
I know, but I'm saying,
If you write them for me, I'll rock out.
But you were in your bag though.
Hey, I can get in a bag. Just if you write it for me, let's rock out.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna find somebody.
Let's do it. Let's do it to it, man.
Give you a spoken word poem to convert.
The wind blowing through my hair like the summer breeze.
Yo. All right, what's the next question?
This one is a little mischievous.
Yeah.
You ever snuck out the crib?
Yeah.
Or more so, in your case, what was the first time you snuck out the crib? Because I'm sure that became a thing for you after a while.
No, sneaking out. I have snuck out, but it was more because I was in trouble, and actually got kicked out. So I had to finesse my way back in, and then locked everybody else out, and then had to sneak out before they came back in, so I could get my stuff to go to school.
That's crazy.
But outside of that, I've never really. I was always out the house, so it wasn't really no sneaking out. It was just not coming back on time. But that in that particular instance, yeah, it was a sneak in and sneak out.
That's some covert.
Yes,
Splinter Cell stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, because in my mind, I guess in my mind, I decided that I had to go to school the next day, or I knew school was tomorrow, and I was like, well, I need clothes, and let me get my backpack so I can go to school. Like shit's regular, I suppose.
If anything, I'm going to class.
Yeah. And
I'd take my bed, but
hours.
You won't take my education.
Basically, I spent hours walking around the city, just all night.
That sounds like it was terrifyingly fun.
I'd be on some shit, not like drugs, just a different approach to life. Because I definitely didn't sleep that night. I literally, it was probably when I jumped off the roof in the back. It had to be 1. School was at 8. And I believe I walked across town to my best friend's house, and it was still there 2 hours before I knew the bus showed up. So then just walked from there to school, which was a journey. And I was at school on time.
And then took the bus back home, I take it?
I took the bus to my friend's house, and then I called my sister, and I was like, yes, I got kicked out again.
That's crazy.
There was that. What about you?
There was once, but yeah, there was once. You gotta hit that thing harder, man.
I wasn't trying to interrupt your story. Go ahead.
Then it sounds whatever. But there was one time where I may have alleviated the keys to an elder human in my home's Jeep Cherokee that was also ended up becoming mine around the hours of 100 and 200 in the morning to how can I put this, transport myself from Upper Marlboro, Maryland to College Park, Maryland, for license,
a late night liaison.
That was what I believed was happening. No. Here's the whole kill. So first, I went to Southeast DC to pick somebody up. Mind you, I'm 16.
Wildin'.
I don't have. I have my learners.
Oh, all right. Not super wildin'.
That's it. But like, don't have the provisionals yet. I can't drive by myself.
Technically,
yeah. I didn't know the rules, so they could have threw anything at me, and I'd have been in the back of the truck or car, whatever. If that was, I wasn't thinking like that. I was like, I drive nice, so I'm gonna be straight. And
right.
It's 2 a.m. No one's outside
until they see this young man. I guess you probably had a beard then too, didn't you? Yeah, not me. I remember one time my brother asked me to wash. He had this nice car. He asked me to wash it, and of course, instead of just busting the UE and taking the short way to the behind the house, I was like, oh, let me go around the block. So I went around the long way, and I saw a cop. So, here we go. I pulled into the alley behind the house. He gonna box me in, a big old Brian Urlacher looking dude, and then call backup. And the whole time, I didn't have my own car, so I didn't. He's like, oh, let me see your license and registration. I was like, well, I live right there, stairs 15 feet away. Mm-hmm. And he's asked for the registration. So I just opened the glove box and pulled out some pink piece of paper. And I was like, I don't know, this might be it. And then they kept pressing me. And I was like, I live right here. I can go inside. And, no, you can't go. All right. And so eventually, I was like, it's my brother's car. He lives here. And they had to run the place by that point and realize I was telling the truth. So I kept saying, let me get my brother. And they must have thought it was going to be a problem. And they wouldn't for like a good 15, 20 minutes. Just me. I also was driving around with my shirt off. And this was...
Yeah. That adds a little spice to it.
Well, because I'm skinny and I look young anyway.
Exactly. So skinny dudes traveling with their shirt off are bold.
So being in...
That means either they knock people out or they get knocked out. But either way, they're still standing, which means they live to tell the story. Which means...
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't lose.
Yeah, being in the it was a nice ride. And yeah, I could not believe this huge man called for backup when I was already boxing in the alley. And then finally they let me go and get my brother. And I was like, yeah, they boxed me and they're pressing me out. So he came out and I gave them my license. They finally left. And in my mind, I'm thinking they thought they had to come up. Because you know if they take a car in that situation, they're just somebody about to just buy it off the lot and it's new ownership. So it didn't work out. But to this day, I mean, literally Brian Urlacher. For those who don't know, what he played, linebacker?
I believe so.
Something on defense.
Middle linebacker, offensive linebacker.
Brian Urlacher is a humongous man, played for the Chicago Bears, and was known for breaking through the line and getting sacks. And this police officer looked like Brian Urlacher with a bulletproof vest. I am 5'11", 145, and I probably didn't even weigh that much then. And we were also in Southeast DC, driving a
that's where all the dangerous skinny dudes drive around fancy with their shirts off, with fancy cars. But that's funny you say that because I think Brian Urlacher was actually recently in the news for some comments he made about like Blue Lives Matter and how they're
probably
important.
There's no such thing, but
yeah. But when your last name is Urlacher,
I've decided to lay off politics and public forums for some time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
You have to have a debate where you have to cut somebody's mic off just so they won't talk and they're of age, well over of age.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know what we're doing.
Me either.
Excuse me. That's what we're doing.
So all right. So back to your story. On this same trip, you drove from way east of DC to southeast DC, back to north of DC.
I lived off Central.
I mean, I'm just trying to.
I used to live off Central.
I don't know what that means.
But so I live by Six Flags.
All right. So from Six Flags to southeast.
Six Flags
to UMD.
Go straight.
We don't need directions.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know why. That's why I tell stories.
It's just a journey. So,
but so from Six Flags to Southeast, over by Marvin Gaye Park, went and picked up a homie. Went from there to College Park, and I mean like College Park, like University of Maryland College Park, like Baltimore Ave Road.
Yep.
Got out there.
Yep.
Here's the funny thing about it. As soon as I pull up at the house, I get a call on the phone.
I remember this story.
Hello? Where's my car?
You can't answer those calls.
You can't. That's when I learned that, like, that's not me. Well, I honestly, I wasn't even, like, scared. I was just like, all right. Because at that point, I was like, you ain't really gonna
it's not even about fear. It's just, if I answer this, then it's an acknowledgement that the call has been made, and I'm clearly not busy enough to miss it. But if I'm busy enough to miss it, I can finish doing what I'm doing and then get in trouble later.
Yeah. It's the first time I wasn't thinking. I just saw the phone ring.
Clearly, I was a mischievous child.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was talking about that the other day, too. I was really a good child. I don't know why I got yelled at so much. I was a good child.
Please.
I was.
Whatever. What's your next question?
Maybe I had some sneaky in me, but I was good.
Yeah.
Most of the things I snuck were for me. It wasn't to harm anybody else. Like, it was mostly like food.
I mean, yeah, I hear you. I still. What's the next question?
No, for real. When was the first time you got tipsy? These are like
probably
King's questions.
You said King's questions.
That's
Oh,
what
you
these
stupid.
feel like.
Well, so there was once when I had to have been 7 or 8, and
Yeah.
my dad had I think he had is it Louis the 13th?
Yeah.
The cognac, yeah. So he had that in a glass,
8. Shit.
a glass decanter, and like I told you, I was everybody's guinea pig. So my brother was like,
7?
not
Jesus.
like my brother said. Matter of fact, the one I was talking to when you came in, he goes, who's talking about the Valley Girl. I remember him saying, "Try this. It'll put some hair on your chest." I was like, "Yeah, whatever, bro." It was. I mean, you can imagine.
And of course, you're not thinking alcohol
It was like
as a
fire.
7-year-old.
Yeah.
You just take a swig.
I don't remember if I was tipsy or not, but it was like fire. And then the joke later on was that's where it came from, because my sister always makes fun of my taco meat. And every time she does it, I think about when my brother gave me the yak, talking about it'll put hair on your chest.
And you're like, it did.
So there's that. I don't know. Right. I don't know if I was actually tipsy then. After that, it had to be 9th or 10th grade when people were finessing the corner store that don't check for Mad Dogs, and when you get introduced to all sorts of illicit substances.
Nah, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
9th or 10th grade, when I was heavy off the sour peach rings and or the gummy peach rings in the Faygo soda. Aggressive.
It used to be Crunch bars. Any chocolate bar that didn't have peanuts but it had Crunch in it.
Yeah.
Crunch bars, Twix bars.
100 grand.
Nah, that was healthy, and that was for old people.
They try to sell it
Crackles.
that way, but it was just caramel chocolate and Krispies. It's like Rice Krispies with caramel and chocolate on it.
Oh, I never knew that. In
I
that
know.
case, I'm gonna go get me one.
I was the same. I felt like you until one day, one year trick or treating, I had 100 grand in there,
And,
and I said, "Let me go ahead and try this."
yeah.
And I
Let me
said-
see what it's talking about.
Oh, right.
But
That's hilarious.
what?
Just these stories.
Crazy. So yeah, that was my my first time getting teed up. Let's think about it. It either had to have been during Beach Week the first time I went, and I was OC gone, like blacked out both first night, and then the second night.
The first time you got drunk, you blacked out.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
death wish.
See that's how I.
But the first time I blacked out was also in high school.
it was like
And
right.
I got lost.
It was like it was the summer. It was the first summer we graduated high school.
Yep.
First summer of us graduated high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blacked out and that's another reason why I'm against the Fireball and things like Fireball.
Listen, I don't care what you
Amsterdam,
say.
Svedka.
Fireballs taste like Red Hots. Fireball tastes like Red Hots.
Oh, word.
They're delicious.
Fireballs taste like Red Hot.
Yeah, if you have multiple shots, don't do that.
If you had multiple shots,
Don't. Okay.
you
where we
made it
going.
worse.
All right.
I'm so childish.
I'm
You
gonna
can
just-
really see my age in me. Sometimes I'm surprised people be thinking I'm older.
It's all
I'd
good.
be like,
It's the beard,
Do you
fam.
hear me?
It's the beard.
It is the beard.
Fear the beard.
It's the beard and the aftershave. But yeah, Fireball, Amsterdam, Svedka, just horrible things. Horrible,
Yo.
cheap things.
You know what? The first time I blacked out, it was off Pop Off. Not even
I
Svedka.
don't know what that is.
Pop Off comes in. You know how Svedka comes in the 2-liter looking
Yeah.
container? Svedka comes in a gallon container with a handle on it that's also plastic. At least that's what we had. And that night we were mixing Pop Off with apple juice. And it was so bad that by the time at that point I kicked it with my one of my homies every day. By the time he showed up, he was coming down the hall at the elevator. And I looked at him and I said, "Yo, why is the hallway dancing?" He goes, "Are you that drunk?" And I looked him dead in his eyes. Yes.
Hey, that's funny.
Yeah.
But that's cold.
Yeah.
That's some peace
And the
shit
way
right there, dude.
the way that ended was, I remember walking around because everybody thought it was gross, and asking my friends, "Yo, you gonna finish that? You gonna finish that?" And I looked up at the clock, and it was 2 a.m. And I said, "Fuck, I have to go home." And then I remember being in someone's backyard, knee deep in wet leaves. Like, fuck, I'm lost. Then I vaguely remember stumbling up a hill by some college student who just looked at me crazy. And then the next thing I remember was being at the front door to the house with my key out and going, "Yes." And I went inside and went to sleep, woke up in the morning, threw up all over the floor. I took off the shirt I was wearing, just laid it on top of the throw up, and went back to sleep.
No, I lied to you. Oh, that's funny. I lied to you. That was not the first time that I ever got drunk. First time I ever got drunk, I believe it was my 17th birthday. All my friends were drinking before me, and I was like the last one to the party because I just didn't know. I was one of those kids that even though all the people I hung out with were like getting teed and stuff,
Yeah.
I didn't think that all of them were like actually getting teed. I knew there was a few, but like then I started getting invited to parties, and I was like, "Oh, y'all,
This is what you guys do."
Okay, private school actually low key is kind of like the movies. Y'all be turned. But it wasn't like as wild as the movies. It was just like, "Oh, y'all be in here drunk as hell. Y'all parents be knowing y'all drunk as hell. People be in here high as hell off the weed, not off the extracurriculars."
I always wonder about the kids who throw the parties at their house. I'm just selfish. I don't want to clean up after anybody. And I'm not about to fight my parents, but by all means, I'll pull up. I'm not going to make a mess, though.
Every party that I've had in my house, either accidentally or on purpose, has been a blast, but I only liked one, and that was when I had a sleepover when I was like 10. And that was because sleepovers were the rave, and I was just happy that I had a sleepover, and like 14 little boys could fit in the basement, run around.
14? Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I had
that was the thing.
Once.
That was like the competition.
In my house. Who could have the most friends over?
Kinda.
Yeah. So.
But it wasn't a competition. It was just like, that means you have like the widest range of like friendship in a sense, where it's like you pull up and it's like, "Oh shoot, you here?" Then that was funny to me because that's how I get to see how people be at like when they be at the crib or like when they just chilling. Because I was never like the come spend the night over my house friend. Like I had my two homies and everybody else we hung out at school.
Yeah, similar.
Or on the team.
And it's funny. I was thinking about that because I always say I don't have no friends, and I guess I need to clarify. I got a couple, but my folks that I would call my friends are my aces. I hang around. When I was thinking about it, I thought I would say wolves, but wolves are pack animals. So most of my friends, the folks I really consider friends, are sharks and eagles. Either they're dominating the area, but they move solo, and so and it was that way even when I was young, probably because I moved so much. So I had my dogs, and there's mad other people that I was cool with, might hang out with, but when it came down, if it's a rumble, I got this guy's back. Everybody else can suffer, and that was it. So I always had a small circle. So there was only one time where I had a bunch of folks over, and it's probably only 4 or 5, and it only happened once. So waka waka.
Waka waka.
Yeah. So my friends are really more like family.
Yeah.
And out everybody else can just whatever, bro.
Yeah. My homies are my homies. They know who they are. And they know what they do. But to continue my story, it was my 18th or 17th birthday. My friend wanted to throw a birthday party for me. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to TD. She just said, "I want to throw a birthday party for you at my house." Because she just liked throwing parties. Like she literally just likes to throw parties. Like whenever you go to her house, it's her mom throwing a party.
Yeah.
Brother got friends over. Like it's lit. Even when she was at school, she had an apartment. Always lit.
Yeah.
Always a party. That's just who she was.
Fire.
So I'm me. I know probably 20 people max at this point in high school. I know about 20 people in high school that like I would even invite to like hang out with me on my birthday.
Yeah.
So those 20 people are invited. It's all love. As soon as I pull up, she hands me a cup of orange juice. No. She hands me
a screwball?
Hold on. That was the wrong person. Excuse me. That was later on in the night. She hands me this big slushy, like margarita slushy. Like it was like a pimp chalice. She was like, you gotta finish this.
Chalice in the palace.
I'm like, I thought it was just a slushy at first. Mind you, this is like my first rodeo. One of my first rodeos. But I'm like, all right. And I sit there, I was like, oh, this is legit. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. Didn't finish it. I set that shit down somewhere when nobody was looking. Yeah. And by that point, everybody forgot the train of events. So I was good. But then people just kept coming, hey, Reek, happy birthday. Take a sip. Whatever. Hand me, what is a screwball?
Orange juice and vodka.
Somebody handed me a screwball. Sent me that. Somebody handed me orange juice and Hennessy. And I was like, all right. At this point, I'm just drinking whatever's handed to me.
Throw it back.
I don't even know what's going on at this party.
Pause.
Because I'm, 2 in a row.
But
Either way. But I don't know what's going on at this party.
Yeah.
I'm just here. I'm in the moment. I don't even know what the moment is, but I'm
joy.
in that shit.
Living
not really
living
joy,
in the moment.
Because I'm trying. I can't walk. Like I can walk, but like I don't like it.
I feel you.
I don't like
joy.
being
when you're
that
just
gone.
in the moment, it's joy.
You could look at it like that way, but I didn't like that joy that I was experiencing. That was somebody else's joy.
Oh, that's not joy then.
Okay, then there we go.
You were probably sick.
Yeah, I was sick, but it was like a feel good sick. It was like one. It was like the
oxymoron
lotus.
If I ever heard one.
It's like eating the lotus flower.
What does that mean?
It's like you're trapped in euphoria, but in actuality, it's like eating away at you.
Oh, is this some Naruto shit?
It's more so like some Odyssey shit.
Like the rapper producer?
No, like
the Iliad and the Odyssey, like Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It wasn't the lotus flower for them. It was like the siren.
In high school, I had to write an essay on that. Essay was great, but I got an F because the first line said, even though I didn't read the book. It's the last time I ever did that.
Yeah. See,
sometimes I'm honest to a fault.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't pay to be a dick.
I wasn't being a dick. I was being honest.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. Honesty. I didn't mean a dick, but like you were being honest, but it was like one of those honesties where
it was high key arrogant. I feel what you're saying.
It was extra, and you knew it was extra.
I honestly thought I was
probably on your Ferris Bueller shit a little bit.
No, I told you when I was in school. Once I realized that that as long as I did well on the test, I didn't have to do any work. I didn't do any work. For what?
Boom. No, that's fair.
Wasting my time. But yeah, so I went to class, so I understood what everybody was talking about, and I connect dots well. So I didn't have to answer the questions he was asking. I didn't have to read the book. And then me and like I said, high key arrogant. Even though I didn't read the book, I'm about to ace this joint, and he just gave me an F because of the first sentence. And I knew it was out of spite because, I knew what I wrote. I knew what the questions were, and I did well. But that sentence cooked me. So that was the last time that happened.
What can you say?
The last time, he also always had a red, flushed face. Pretty sure his mug was full of vodka all the time. Shout out to Lusky. And
when I learned about how teachers really be like people,
I dented it.
I didn't know for a while the teachers were actual human beings until I saw one in the grocery store.
That's what.
It was at a young age. It was like at 13, 12. That's not too young, but like young enough. I saw one of my teachers out, and I was like,
as a child, you can't comprehend people out of their context. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And even though I knew they were people, I only knew one teacher I had seen like at his house because he literally lived next door to the school.
Oh.
Literally. Like we would pull up on like drop-offs.
And watch him walk to school, walk to work.
Just open the door and be like, all right, honey, bye. and go in through the back door, which was 2 steps away from his door.
That's
and
lit.
it was lit in terms of if you love your job, but it was weird for us because we was like, even if he's sick, he's close enough to where he can just run home and get some medicine and come back. And we hated him. We didn't hate him.
Oh.
He was just extra.
Yeah, that's why somebody who lives next door to their job is going to be extra about their job.
But he was a great teacher.
Yeah.
I'll never take that. That was a great teacher, great man. He recently passed away. He had brain cancer.
Wow.
He beat it once, and then it came back. It was amazing. It was crazy. It happened when we were at school. He went away for a couple months.
It's a good question I have. If it comes back, did you beat it? I don't understand that.
Good question. I guess that's the lie the doctors tell you, in a sense.
It's like, in basketball, you could be up 30, and somebody come back and win. So they hadn't lost yet.
Exactly.
So
up 3-1, blow it. Clippers.
KD.
Yeah. And Steph.
Yep. I was going to throw it out there.
All three of them.
All three of them.
Even though you were giving him his dog praises yesterday, he still blew a 3-1 lead.
Absolutely. He's still a dog, but that's he blew a dog to the greatest player that ever touched a basketball and blew a lead to the greatest player that ever touched a basketball. So I can't even fault him for that. That's not his fault.
See, I hate when people say that about
what?
How they think Michael Jordan is still the best player to ever touch a basketball. And it's like, first of all, the game evolved.
Mm-hmm.
So the Michael would have put up numbers.
You want to know my theory?
There were people, like, back then, there weren't people as athletic as Michael Jordan.
That's actually my theory. That he was
far more superior athletically than everybody else. There was people that had, like, maybe there was somebody that could jump high. Maybe there was somebody that was good at defense.
Yeah.
Maybe there was somebody that could run fast.
Yeah.
But there was no, like, conjunction of the full athleticism. He was like the first.
Yeah, he was the first player of the coming generation.
Yeah, now that's the standard.
Like, could you imagine? Never mind the recent. Imagine KG playing when Mike was playing.
Like young Mike.
Young Mike, like dogging folks.
Yeah, if you really think about it, people talk about mental toughness. Those dudes was weak because they was all shook by Mike, and they admit how shook they were by Mike.
Right.
Like, when Mike step on the floor, you don't say nothing to Mike. But then they want to be like, oh, these dudes ain't got no heart. It's like, bro, you just talking about how Cuz was taking your heart every game.
Yeah, you don't talk trash to Mike.
Yeah, you don't speak to the black cat, calling him out his name.
But I mean, he set the tone.
He did set the tone, and if you gonna give it to him like that, he took it.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it too. There's some people that Mike probably knew could keep up to a sense, but because of the mental aspect, he was like, if you don't step first, then I'm gonna just take it, and then you can't take it back.
Yeah.
I.e., when Iverson whopped Mike,
yeah,
rookie off the lead, just gave him the setup move, bye,
and he still almost got the block.
Yeah, but he's
6'6" versus Ivo got his bucket off. Look, I tell people all the time, the 11s are one of my favorite pair of J's, but not because of Mike, because that's what Iverson wore at Georgetown. That's it. Yeah. It wasn't because of Mike. Ivo used to get busy.
No, he always
when he still had the Trey Burke fade.
I was watching Gilbert Arenas' podcast. He was talking about the hardest person he ever had to guard was Allen Iverson because he was a headache 60.
Yeah. Like
Kobe was I'm going to put 60 on you, but it didn't feel like he had the ball every time because they ran through an offense. Yeah. Iverson was the offense.
I remember watching
and he was the point guard. So he brought it up court, tried to score. If he didn't score, he circle around, get it back, and then just try to score again. Mm-hmm. So it was like ISO all game, and they were like he was the white hustle player. Like he was constantly running,
but had the
diving.
Talent too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a scary dude. Everybody says if Iverson was 6'6", it would have been a different league.
Yeah,
it would have been a completely different league.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. All right, you want to start some records?
Yeah, let's get into some music.
Back to SuperGood, Duckwrth, 16 tracks, 44 minutes.
Like that. Why don't we?
How are you sitting? I don't understand how you're sitting.
I'm trying to open up my legs.
Because you're cutting off your circulation. Because you're all right. Just put your feet on the edge.
I'm just gonna turn.
Gotta teach my man how to sit. It's crazy.
It's not bad. Whatever.
All right, track one. New Love
How many
song.
tracks is this?
16.
16 tracks.
Bro, you tapping that mic hard. I'm about to make you use a mic stand.
Hey.
Track 1. All right, I like where this is going.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
Started, you know, I started to feel good. Maybe put some smiles on the. Oh, it is animated. Some smiles on the face. It's at least
Ooh, Matador, young Matador.
It's at least the blue for me, if not green.
Mm-hmm. I'll give it a blue. It's a nice warm up. I want to see where it goes.
Oh, it's creepy. I figured it's moving ever so slightly. That's threw me off a little bit. All right. Track 2, Money Dance.
Featuring
Money dance, Money dance,
I was hoping something else would come in,
the more key chords,
or a different octave.
it's probably gonna switch up. It's
Um,
definitely probably gonna switch up.
It's dope. I think it's dope.
I like that. Yeah, I
It
like
definitely.
That
I
vibe.
mean, even if it is that for the rest, it's kind of in the Kate Renata pocket. Where if it's on, you're gonna at least bop, and you don't have to know what it is.
Yeah.
Just to hit you with the little, quick little 2-step.
It's when you in H&M and you accidentally hear Toro y Moi play and you don't realize it. Then it's like, wait a minute.
Right. That's why I
This
do
isn't
that.
all just Coke music.
Throwing some gear in the fitting room.
Oh yeah, I'll be dancing.
Yeah.
I'll be dancing.
I'm certain.
I'm always
all right.
dancing. Track 2 gets a green.
All right. We don't even know what Gene Doe finna do.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
So I think I take this back. I don't think this is a rapper.
Whatever.
I think he's just an artist, whatever. Or maybe he starts spitting bars. Who knows? He might just be one of them.
Maybe.
dudes.
Track 3.
Trickin'.
Been quite it's been a lingering topic.
Yeah.
M-O-N-E-Y, do your money dance. M-O-N-E-Y, 20s in my hand. M-O-N-E-Y, keep your pockets thick. M-O-N-E-Y.
I just realized that was like an interlude.
I didn't realize it either. I still love it.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it kind of has the same, I'm guessing this leads into this.
Quick.
Because they kind of, no.
Mm.
Because they kind of got the same
Yeah,
clamp
probably.
and stuff. So, I like it. I blue like it, though.
Oh, I green like it.
We'll go green. Because he was probably spitting some bars about money.
Maybe, but even just the whole it made me imagine the situation, like you outside on the block, and then girls might be doing their double dutch, and that's what they're clapping, and you just whatever. Track 4, Quick.
Featuring Keon.
Don't get me started, well, I got you wanted.
Yo.
Oh. Whoa, baby. Yeah.
That was fire. Shout out to Duckwrth
Yeah, that was
and
clean.
Keon if you were on the production.
That was clean.
Yeah, this I'm gonna have to come back and listen to this.
That was clean.
Track 5, Too Bad.
Speed it up later.
It definitely feels like it's going somewhere, so it's at least a blue. I like where it started. It didn't take me nowhere yet though, but I felt it pulling.
Yeah. That's a azul to me.
It makes me wonder, or makes me think that he would be a pretty good performer considering the selection we've heard thus far and the sound choices and all the different feels.
Yeah.
That he might be awesome on stage.
I bet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely bet.
All right, track 6, Kiss You Right Now.
I think I wanna kiss you right here in front.
It's like
He's an artist. Don't get that wrong.
it's
This young man is definitely an artist.
What genre would you say Miguel is in?
Pop.
Yeah, but it's because this track definitely had the trap sensibilities about it, but it had what sounded like an analog bass and acoustic drums, and I've never heard those together before. So instead of an 808, it was just the bass note. We can run it back. So it's analog trap, I guess. Like when the bass comes in, it's I like that.
I think I wanna kiss you right here in front of.
Yeah, it's analog trap R&B.
Yeah, something like that. That's dope. I like that.
Techno trap.
Yeah, something.
Techno
it's just
trap and B.
Duckwrth.
Techno R and trap.
Techno trap and B.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so track
so-
six, Kiss You Right Now. That's a green. That's a green for me.
Yeah, I was about to say green. It's different.
Yeah.
Like, and it's an attempt at
It's creative.
it's creative.
It's original.
And you can, even off 10 seconds, you can kind of hear.
He's taking you somewhere.
You said it better than I could have. So let's get into track 7.
Coming Closer, featuring Julia Romana.
In GLAM or Glam.
Glam.
Feel like you're getting closer. Feel like you're getting closer to me. Feel like you're getting closer.
This is giving me Igor vibes.
It's fire.
Yeah, it's giving me Igor vibes. Like just the instruments, the bloop in the back. Like it's just a bunch of polished sounds. And her voice, I'm guessing that's Julia Romana.
Maybe.
I think that would be Julia Romana. Because Glam, I think that might be more than one person. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing.
Let's click and find out.
Artist, performer, producer. Anyway.
Well, there's no picture of Glam.
Nope. Oh well.
I'm trying to remember. There was a cartoon of I think it was a girl rock band, and it was something. It might be Glam. Unsure. I'm about the girl rock band cartoon on Google. Google's about to get broken up. There's a bunch of states that Gem. It was called Gem, JEM. A bunch of states are hitting them with the antitrust.
Grody.
Speaking of coming closer, though, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Is it really the thought that counts?
No.
Interesting.
It's the action.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because the thought is what leads to the action.
Fair.
You feel me?
Okay. What if we narrow it down specifically to the context in which most people say that, which is gift giving?
Mm-hmm. Still, it's the thought that leads to the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So what thought did you...
So what I liken it to is our discussion about nice yesterday, last episode, which is if you give someone a gift, or rather, no, if let's say you're a kid and you get a gift and you have whatever reaction and someone says it's a thought that counts, or if you give someone a gift and they say it's a thought that counts, then you know it's a shit gift.
Yeah.
I don't care what you thought. Clearly you were thinking about you, not about me.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to actually give me a gift, you should think about what I want. Not what you think I want.
No, yeah.
What I want.
Gifts, to me, should be things that are actual gifts. Like they help you.
In what way?
Help you in whatever way they need to. In the sense of, if somebody gives you money, then, hey, you can always use money. Like that's a gift that can never. That's just like it's not a gift. It's more like a.
I feel you, and I think that for me, money is when you want to give someone a gift, and you either don't know them well enough or aren't willing to put in enough thought, and you're just like, here's some money to buy something appropriate. Because you can and I was even thinking about what amount of money is appropriate for which age, and I feel like anything 16 and under, you have to give them $100 at least. After that, it's got to be more, because you can't buy anything with $100 really.
You
I mean,
can't.
if you're 5, you can go ball out in the candy store,
Yeah.
but that's the point.
You
But
really can't.
the way I was thinking, I gave it a lot of thought the other day, and to me, a good gift is something that's surprising, valuable, and a little bit off center. And what I mean by off center is it's not obvious. So and that doesn't mean that it has to cost a lot of money either. But if you're
Yeah.
just gonna give someone money, it has to be enough money for them to get something that's gonna be surprising to themselves. And that requires really a lot of intimacy. So if you don't have an appropriate level of intimacy with the person, then don't try to buy them a gift, or don't take it personally if you pick something and it's bad. Give them the receipt so they can return it. I feel like
that's my thing. Like, if you're trying to get to know, or like if you're like, oh, I think you might like this, then you keep the receipt.
yeah.
And it's not like a like,
But like people tell you
oh,
what
you
they
can
want
just
all the
take it.
time.
People tell you exactly what they want. And if you're paying attention enough to people, you can see what would be beneficial to them that you can afford,
Right.
or that you can do. Like, shoot, like you said, it doesn't have to be mad expensive. You see somebody, you go over to a friend's house and you see that like there's a dark spot in their room or something. It's like, let me get homie a lamp right there, or something like that, along those lines.
I hear
Like,
what you're saying, but that's a bad idea.
that was a bad example, but like,
Yeah, I feel you.
or somebody's always talking about they go hiking, but
so
they tired of using
when I was in
these.
high
Get a
school,
water bottle.
I was the bootleg king. I had all the CDs because I was the only person who knew how to work the internet, whatever. And I had a copy of the Black Album, and I broke it somehow, and I was really upset about it. And my homegirl bought me the actual album for either my birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was so hyped up because the only time it came up in the conversation was when I literally broke the CD in half.
That's crazy.
And that was the only time it came up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could tell from how, sad I felt or whatever, or how I was emoting that I really liked that album, blah, blah, blah. And so she bought it. To me, that was an awesome gift. And it was
that's
$15.
That's an amazing
$20.
gift. And to her, it's like, it's just $15.
I mean, who knows how much it was to her.
Or, but
it meant a lot to me. And that
Exactly.
was
You
the
see something that somebody really appreciates,
Yeah.
hook them up. Like, don't just be like, oh, it's your birthday, I got you this, like, it's Joan the Fire is stinging, everybody talking about this. Was I talking about it?
Yeah. Like,
I'm not going to get you nothing that I know you're not going to use. And if I don't think I can get you anything, then I'll ask you, hey, what would you like? Hey, what would you
right.
like?
That's the other thing. You can always ask, right? And then even most people aren't even, you say, oh, what would you like as a gift? They have a hard time telling you, but in the process of them trying to explain what they might want, if you listen close enough, you can get a good idea.
Oh, yeah. And like before we said, if you just talk to people always talking about
Just
everyone
giving
is
intimate.
always saying like, oh, you know what, I could use this. You know what, this would benefit me.
Yeah.
It just comes up in conversation. Just be more attentive.
Yep.
Attentive.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very intimate thing. And so if you're a bad gift giver, or if someone just says thanks, or it's a thought that counts, then try harder. do better.
Exactly.
Do
better. But track 7 was agreeing because I like Duckwrth, man.
Glam was giving me gem vibes.
Say what you mean.
Track 8.
SuperGood.
This reminds me of Flap Your Wings,
Super good.
but a more polished and suave version of Flap Your Wings. It's the kind of where the girls are gonna drop down and get their eagle on, but they're gonna be wearing heels and sequin
what
dresses.
sucks? Girls don't dance to dance music no more.
What?
Girls don't dance to dance music no more. They dance to Meg Thee Stallion. They dance to Sweetie. They dance to.
Is that even dancing, or is that
They
just
dance.
I'm gonna throw
That's
one
the
arm in the air, do the big step, and shake it?
That's the only dancing they do.
Yeah.
All the other shit is like, they don't like. There's only like very small fraction of girls that will just dance, like literally like actual body movement, like just dance. Most girls only think dancing is shaking ass. Then there's a few girls that They be like, yeah, we dance on the dance floor, but they're just violently, aggressively singing their hearts out, doing the.
Yeah, no. To the
like,
R&B slow jams when it's let out time.
Yeah, then we just gotta stand there and watch you do that, or try to sing along with you.
Yeah, I remember. Matter of fact, another reason why I appreciate my siblings, because I knew all of the 80s, the popular 80s music video dances. So when we were in college, we went to a party at the all girls school, and they started playing Belle Biv DeVoe and stuff.
And you just hit them.
Yeah, but Shorty was in heels, hitting me, matching every step for step.
Yeah, that's
a scoop one that night.
Bro. Oh no, look. I'm right there with you. I was watching,
but none of my family's ever seen me dance. They're always like, are you dancing? I was like, man, dancing has a purpose. I don't need it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be I still am king dance. I don't dance around the house as much anymore because I got tired of people saying something every time I dance. I'm like, bro, just get used to it. Like I'm all
I will dance,
but everybody just be like, oh, you happy feet again? I'd be like,
that's something you just got. Okay, and why aren't you happy feet? Cause that's it.
I
check them.
I tried.
Let me be happy. You just gotta keep. Don't let them knock you off your square, dog. You gotta stay solid. Stay solid.
I'm solid. Now they wondering why they don't see my square because it's mine.
Touche. Track 9.
8.
Oh wait, we just did 8.
We did, yeah,
that was a green, dog.
Green.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We can go green. It was a little blue to me, but we can go green.
Did you notice? Featuring Julia Romana.
Julia.
Track 9.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Okay.
That's just gonna be hard. I hope if drums come in, that shit's gonna be hard.
Given his track record thus far, no pun intended, I am inclined to agree with you. Off that 10, way more bluish than greenish.
I know.
Possibly, I'm in the light blue with that.
The first guitar chord was a little off-putting, but then when he brought it, the one that like
he left that gap in there for the bounce,
and then like it was a different, like it was a little cleaner one in the back. I was like, oh, okay, but we can go blue on that. We can go blue on that. That's all right. I'll give you that because it threw me off at first, and then I heard it.
And it came back in with the bounce.
Yeah.
Juan's Smoke Break, track 10.
That I just got off work. I'm sweaty. I've been Microsoft excelling all day. Thanks for stepping with us. Like, I'm just saying I'm tired.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that music is what's going into the next track.
Probably.
And not just a sample for this 30 seconds, 23 seconds.
It might be.
I've been Microsoft excelling all day.
I loved when Childish Gambino, Donald Glover did that for this song called Telegraph Ave, where he did it like he was getting in the car and cut the radio on, and it was Oakland by Lloyd. Like Lloyd was playing on the radio, and then it led into Telegraph Ave, which is Oakland, he put a verse onto Lloyd, and then it was amazing.
That's dope.
That's so clean. So if that does that, Duckwrth is in my new rotation. He's already in my, because I gotta hear the rest of this. When I go home, I gotta listen to the rest. I gotta hear these songs all.
And he got the masters on here. Does he own? He might own it. Respect,
brother. Come on, brother.
All right, what we giving it then?
Green.
Bet. Super bounce.
She was like, I've been Microsoft and Excel all day.
Microsoft excelling all day. I like that. Got to verb it. Super bounce.
Super bounce 11. Featuring Earth Gang.
Earth Gang.
Super bounce. Don't drop it. Fast. Baby, be supersonic. Get your gas mask. All them niggas told us traffic. Boy, this fast cash. Venmo.
That was only 11 seconds. Select a rewind.
Super bounce. Don't drop it. Fast. Baby, be supersonic. Get your gas mask. All them niggas told us traffic. Boy, this fast cash. Venmo me.
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead. Green that up. We love it.
What's a green? How do you do a G in cursive?
It's like it looks stupid, but
okay. I was thinking along the right lines.
Yeah. Then you're like, wait, is this a D? Yeah, that was fire. I like the stuff that Earth Gang does. Which means we probably should do their album, the one that they did with JID, because they were all. I learned recently that they were all together, and then JID started doing his own stuff, and then Earth Gang was doing their own stuff. But then on this recent album, they came back together again to form up like Voltron.
That kind of makes sense. JID's voice matches them.
Yeah, he was part of that group. And also the track, I think the track I heard was called Baptism. Fire.
I'm excited about Super Bounce.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to get my car back. All right, track 12.
It's coming back.
Weekend.
Man.
Yeah, and then after that, never mind. Weekend.
On another level. I'm so high. Alright.
Ready?
I got goosebumps. Go ahead.
You see, I sat up.
This is strong out here, Mr. Duckwrth.
I've heard his name for a few years and just never checked him out.
Years. Same. I refused. I don't know why.
I didn't refuse because I always wanted to check him
I was
out.
like, what's a Duckworth?
I always wanted to check him out because, especially after Kendrick dropped the song Duckworth, I
About
was like,
$15.
yeah, I was going to say. You got to stop it, man.
We're going to have a whole clip of just dad jokes. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it's going to be my disappointed face.
That's fine. You just
Not even my face. It's just, you just can tell my energy gets
I snuck that in
disappointed.
under the
You
radar.
did, and I didn't like it.
Whatever. You're
Whatever.
just a hater.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
am.
Your dad game joke. Your
I
dad
hate
game.
when I need to.
Your dad joke game isn't as tight as mine,
Hey.
and I'm not a dad.
Whatever.
So when I do have kids, I'm gonna be on power level.
What if you
9,000.
lose it?
Lose
Once
what?
you have kids, you can't tell no more dad jokes, and then you just like.
That will never. That trick. That's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying. I'm not wishing it upon you. I'm just asking. Like, do you have a plan?
They're gonna be like, "Daddy, can we turn up the thermostat? It's
shit
cold."
hits
And
the
I'll be like,
fan.
stand in the corner. They'll be like, "Why?" I'm like, because it's 90 degrees. Ow! You weren't ready for that
I
one.
just made a beat. It
You
was
weren't.
hard.
You weren't ready for that one. All right.
What does this remind you of?
I don't know, man. Stop pressing it. Do we rate this track? 12?
Yes.
All right.
Green.
Track
Stupid
13,
green.
Tuesday. What is
Tuesday.
Yo, I need Too Short on this.
I need E40 on this.
Yeah, Too Short and E40 on the remix.
Ooh.
Duckworth, get him.
Ooh.
Pay the cost.
Chilling with my homie Duckworth. Ooh.
I need to memorize some E40 verses so I can just recite them
Jesus
when
Christ, here, Dreas.
So shake 'em.
I ain't got none, but I'm planning on growing
Growing
some.
some.
Imagine if the Hebrews.
Yeah, imagine all the Hebrews going dumb. Something on the chariots and twisting tight ones or turning tight ones.
I love that bar so much because that was the first bar to me that didn't sound like a rap. It sounded like he was writing his thoughts.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like he was just
Jesus
like,
Christ had dreads.
man, Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I ain't got none, but I'm planning on growing some.
I've never heard E40 speak that angrily.
True. I didn't know E40 back then. Then I saw the video for that, and it was black and white, and it was a bunch of people going dumb. And I was like, okay,
dumb.
he
Yeah,
got
it's hard.
energy. Then I seen
that's
the
a
clip
green.
of him at the baseball game.
What, recently? Oh.
He was mad faded, right? And he's sitting front row, like in the baseball, like right behind the joints where they got the net.
Yes,
ball
he's
comes
behind
back.
home plate.
He's behind home plate. The ball comes back, hits the net, bounces. E40 goes,
Oh.
hits the net. He's like, he tried to catch the ball. He legit was like, went up. Like, it was like,
Faded. Yeah. I think I remember that.
The only thing funnier than that, or that competes with the funniness, is Russ and James sitting next to each other, and they hit the net, and at the same time they both like dodged, and then looked at each other and started dying.
Yeah.
It's like, so,
Yeah, I mean, them baseballs move fast. That's why they put that net
90
there.
something out. I was talking about that the other day. 90 miles per hour, and there's a possibility that shit could hit you in the leg, like in the kneecap.
Well,
I don't care about that little
sometimes-
shin guard.
Sometimes they throw the ball at the batters.
Yeah.
That's why we got to fight, fam. Before this,
And I'm taking
before
the
this
bat out
adrenaline
there.
wears off, and I start to feel the pain for real.
And I'm taking the bat out there.
I'm gonna beat your ass. They
My
never
thigh
do that.
just turns purple.
Yeah, it's funny. They never do that. It's probably like
Stupid.
It's
Because you're
probably
just
like
not thinking.
it's probably like hockey though, right? Because you'll scrap, but no one ever tries to chop up the other dude with
True,
the,
but
with,
hockey
so
is
it's part
different.
Of the, no, but that's what I'm
because
saying. In
it's-
baseball, it's
you-
part of the game in the same way. If there is that contentiousness between the pitcher and the batter, we're gonna scrap. But I'm not gonna assault you with a deadly. I guess technically hitting someone with a baseball is assault with a deadly weapon.
At
but
90 miles per hour.
but I've never seen a batter carry the bat
I've seen
to the
one.
mound
I've
to
seen
attack
one.
the pitcher.
He was Dominican.
Was it a high? I'm gonna cut
He
you,
played,
Papa.
I think he played for the Red Sox. It was Red Sox Yankees. You know, they got that
I tell you something.
back and forth,
I know
back
black.
and forth. And I think it was Manny Ramirez or something. His name was Manny. I know that much.
Yeah,
And dude didn't even hit him. The ball like went over his head.
yeah.
And he was just ducked, and he was like, "Motherfucker!" And then he just ran out with the bat. People were trying to grab him, and he's like, "No, he needs to pay for that." And he like trying to get to him with the bat, like trying to get to him. It was amazing.
Yeah, because
Baseball
you
brawls
take one
are
of those
amazing.
take one of those to your dome. You might end up with a tumor or
Yeah.
death.
But Tuesday gets
I'm pretty sure it was green. We can run it back though.
it's a green. No, I remember it. It was hyphy.
Word. World on Wheels featuring
Kyle Dion.
Down goes the boogie and boogie to get the jump. I got me a baby, she giving me what the bump. Got she caught in the groove and waited to be bump on one. She booty bouncing it on. Down goes the
This reminds me of Gold Link a little bit.
Yeah, it's I go blue.
I like the bop. Yeah.
Yeah, I go blue.
The way it started out, it made me think of the song Snoop Dogg has off of Bush. With, she got her own thing. Like it's
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg and Pharrell did an album together when
What was
Pharrell
the?
got
Oh,
into his.
you know what? That sound is in the sexual seduction bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snoop when Snoop got with Pharrell,
that old funk bag.
Yeah, he got funky.
Yeah.
Pharrell bought like the
Sexual
70s pimp out of Snoop.
seduction. Yep. Precisely. Like the
It was
Bootsy
always
Collins.
it was
Bootsy
always
Collins
in
funk
there.
bag.
It was always in there, but Snoop was trying to gangsta it up, and Pharrell's like, "Nah, man, let that soul come out."
Speaking of Bootsy, "Rather Be With You" is
I'd
one of
rather
my
be
favorite
with you.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything
Girl,
about
I'd
it.
rather be with you.
I'm not even gonna try to sing with you. I can't sing.
I'd rather be with you until I do. Oh yes, I do. Now that me and my friend, my man Jared, literally we went to his sister used to play volleyball. We went on a trip to one of her tournaments, and on the way out there, that was playing in the car. His father's an OC goofball, so like we was sitting there singing, being funny. Then his father jumps in on the Bootsy part. He's like, "I'd rather be with you." Like wow,
Yeah.
whip, and it's just that's like our song now.
Yeah.
That and "Don't Look Any Further" by Dennis Edwards. Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am stuck where I'm standing. I love that. Oh.
Yeah. See,
And the reason for that is because I seen the video for the first time, and just that first sound he makes.
oh, I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. My pops never played no stuff like that. It was all jazz.
Like it was rocking. And the beat that you've heard that beat. Or somebody sampled that before. And like the first thing he came in, he's like, "Oh." But in the video, like his jaw, it looks like a snake. Like he turns his shoulder, he's like, "Oh." It's like, what?
Are we not thinking of
Don't Look Any Further. Dennis Edwards. He passed away too. He was singing Temptations. Rest in peace, Dennis Edwards. I think his name was Dennis Edwards.
Because the vibe I'm getting is the Lionel Richie, where you ever see the animation where he was on the toilet?
Yeah. Doom 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 doom. No, I'm about to bring it up.
alright. Well, in the meantime, so we get some blue
Yeah.
sexual seduction vibes.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Don't Look Any Further. Dennis Edwards.
Track. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. 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 Then he does the.
That might have to be one of the.
That's the lady. I forgot her name. I think it's like Donna something. Every black woman back in the day who could sing in like the 70s or 80s, her name was Donna. And she had like a cold.
That's my sister-in-law's name. It's hilarious.
Can she sing?
I don't know. I'll text her and ask
Ask
her.
her.
Can you sing?
Hey Donna, can you sing?
I'm about to.
She was, it's funny that you said that. I'm actually about to go on tour.
That would be hilarious. All right, she's gonna be like, "What? No." All right, track 15, super good.
So we got super bounces.
You got me so.
You got me so gone.
Jumped off. Oh no, we on 15. It just gave me too much derivative Kanye, early Travis Scott vibes.
Kanye West, Lost in the World.
Yeah,
I'm lost in the
all that, and then Travis Scott ran off with that sound too. So like,
I'm
it's too.
down,
It's not. I don't know. It's. He's been doing so well, but that one, honestly, that's like a white. Not like that. That's a. Unless you feel real strongly about it, that's a white for
I
me.
don't feel strongly about it.
That's a white for me.
It didn't sound bad to me, but
It didn't
I don't
sound
feel
bad, but I'm
strongly
just
about it,
like,
so we
I
can go
don't.
white. We can go white. I ain't
All
tripping.
right.
Track 16, final track. Take us home, Duckworth. Find a way.
Alex Smiley, Radio Ali. Woo! And Bailey. Let's get it. Percussion's Flames. Wasn't feeling the chords.
Got in his MIA bag with that percussion.
Yeah, that's
Sri Lanka.
that's the Matangi bag. That was the album that Timbaland produced. It's also one of her names, Matangi. So that album was named after herself, and is also one of my favorite songs of hers.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling the synthesizers. Percussion was flames, but the synthesizers is just. This I was like, what? Where are we going with this? And then. Yeah. It sounds old 1980s video game-ish.
Really?
The synthesizers, yeah. It just feels completely out of context to me.
Yeah, those synthesizers don't. Maybe it feels a little bit more smooth.
Maybe it'll break into something fire. I don't know.
A little warbly, but this.
I need something. I need something more edgy.
It's funny how you can like hear the children of like Tyler the Creator, a little bit.
What do you mean?
Like just the little things from like you can. I can hear like I can hear his influences. And I hear a lot of influence from Tyler.
I wonder how long Duckwrth's been out. That's a blue for me. I do want to hear the rest. Just yeah. Man's got albums. He also has another album out, more recent than this one, called Super Funk, which is a good 6. See, everybody's in that pocket. People are starting to learn. Anyways,
The Falling Man,
2015.
So
Yeah,
definitely, because 2015 was like Tyler's second or third album by that point.
I'm ugly, extra ugly mixtape. Otherwise, but this is
South Central Recording Division.
that explains the
South Central,
Cali
yeah.
bounce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was strong. That was real strong.
Very strong. Like
No more like.
no, I was saying I like.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Well, that's this one. I'll fix it later. My man loves a long division. One day we're going to get the iPad with the spreadsheet on it, so we can just plug in. Oh, I got a gem for the listeners.
What?
I was talking. I asked Gumbo if he hit the park today, and he said I ended up not going. I said why? So if you're trying to get a scholarship to college, then you can't afford to skip days working
Not
out,
at all.
especially when the weather's nice because it's about to get cold.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not sure if I want to play college ball. He said, just want to be the best I can be and then see where that takes me. You know what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Then you absolutely, definitely can't skip a day.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be the best that you can be. But the gem, being your personal best is a standard beyond measure. It requires showing up every day and pushing yourself past where you were the day before. It is not a license to relax. It is exactly the opposite. Requirement of consistent action.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
damn, where'd that come from?
It's one of those things that's
I'm gonna
in
save
you,
it for myself.
and you don't even realize it. Like, you don't realize it, and you say things like that, and it kind of motivates you. 'Cause
Yeah, for real. Because then I
Wow.
thought about,
I wasn't even thinking that I had that in me.
right. I
Didn't
was
even
thinking
know
about the
those-
work we're doing.
Yeah. Didn't even know those words like went together
Yeah.
in my brain at that time.
Though I'm not
So-
gonna lie, requirement was not the word I wanted to use, but I couldn't think of a better one, so I let it rock.
I do that a lot. I want to use
I'm
certain
so
words,
close.
and I can't think of them, so I try to use a more advanced word, and then I end up confusing myself. I need to stop doing that. I need to dumb my language.
I wanted a
down
more
little
advanced
bit.
word. I couldn't think of an appropriate one.
Yeah, sometimes I need to just allow myself to say the dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Just let it flow. Then I'll explain it. Then you'll see that I don't really mean what I'm saying.
And
but
then I
I'm
told him
saying what I think I mean.
what Danny P says. It's better to fall short of a huge goal than outperform a small one.
Yeah.
So
Because
if
when
you want to
shoot
be,
for huge goals, you inexplicably accomplish small ones along the way. And then if you fail, when you fail, then it's like you don't really fail because then you turn around and it's like, oh shit, I did a lot.
yeah. I mean, I think part of it. Yes, I agree, and part of it is the fact that when you put a mark on the board, you start to slow down as you get close, and you end up never getting there. So if your goal is to be a millionaire, you might get to 950 or 980. But if your goal is to have $10 million, and you get to 7.5, and
That's why it's not good to have tangible goals. It's not good to have tangible goals.
yeah. Like imagine what you want your goal to be, and then double, triple it,
Yeah.
and then let that be the mark.
That's why it's like you have to sit and reflect with yourself. You have to sit down and think often, because you can't just see something and be like, that's what I want my life to be. You don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Your eyes are just showing you
Yeah.
this light reflection based off of where your mind is at
It makes me
and what
wonder.
energy is around you.
It makes me wonder when you're on social media and someone posts something, and then let's say it's a relationship or something, and then the comments are invariably, "Dear God, ...
Yeah.
Send me what I see here." You don't know what they went through, what's actually going on, or if they decided to put on happy faces for this picture.
And why do you think God is checking your IG, waiting for your requests?
I mean,
He gonna like it,
because he's all
then he gonna DM you and be like, hey.
he's all knowing. He's
Uh,
gonna do.
yo.
Hey, I saw
Yo,
your comment. I got you, fam.
I'm so glad you posted that, because I got a dude.
I know a guy.
I know exactly.
I mean,
who you're
technically,
looking
God knows all the guys, but
for. He knows all the guys
all the guys and the gals
and the gals. He gives you
and the zebras and the hippopotamuses.
He gives you the situation that you need to progress.
100%. You can always pick your goal, and
But you
then
have to be smart about.
the life will put, God, the universe, whatever, will put in your path the obstacles you need to go through in order to eventually achieve
Yeah.
your goal. Because whatever that goal is, if you could achieve it as you already are, you would already have it.
I don't even like to say obstacles. I kind of like to look at it as puzzles, because as you figure it out, like
Character building
it's
experiences.
not like something you climb over. It's something that you have to sit down and think about, and put together,
Yeah.
and make it work for you.
Yeah. I feel that.
Or if it's like an experience where it's just like a boom thing,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, you have to sit down and think about why that happened the way it happened, and such and so forth. But yeah,
Yeah.
everything that comes to you it's
It's
just
designed to get you to where you say you want to go. Circling back to many of our other conversations about gratitude, is we forget what we were asking for 6 months ago. So when that shows up, or whatever we're asking for the next 6 months, the appropriate challenge presents itself, then we're like, no, why is this happening to me? It's preparing you for what you asked for, because as you are not ready to receive it.
Exactly.
People don't like hearing that.
People don't like feeling that.
Yeah. Accurate. More accurate.
Especially when you come to that realization. It's like, guy, you sly dog, you got me again with the old rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
But then
real.
it's like, then it becomes, I'm going to start saying it becomes, not it's like, then it becomes a moment where you have to make that decision. Okay.
Do I really want what
Do
I
I
said
want
I
this?
want? God always going to call your bluff. You say, I want this.
I
Okay,
said,
cool.
Hey, we had this
Do you?
conversation. We talked about this on one of the previous episodes.
Yeah.
You gonna ask for it. There you go. Whoa.
Bam.
That was fast. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it's getting crazy fast. Or where I had to start pumping my own brakes as far as requests that I was making or desires that I was articulating.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's something that I want in a year, but not in the next 6 months. And then when I say it, it's immediately obvious what has to change right this second to get it now. And I know I'm not fully ready or willing, or the time is not, well, I guess I don't really know if time's appropriate, right? Because it showed up, but that there's changes I have to make right now that I don't want to make. So let me pause.
The time, well, it's presented to you, like we're saying. And the time is whenever it's there. It's just how long does it take you to make the adjustments
do what you
to
need to
enjoy
do,
the
right.
time, because it starts once that thing or whatever enters into your realm, and once you acknowledge that it's there and what it is, then it's like, then it becomes that
which kind of goes back to what to the 10 mil or 100 mil question yesterday. If it pops up, are you ready for it? And
that was my thinking towards that.
Yeah.
As I tried to explain it, is if it just pops up right now, I don't have $100 million mentality.
Right, but what I'm saying though is that if it wasn't at all possible, it wouldn't pop up for you to bridge that gap if it wasn't at all possible. So if it came to you,
true,
it is it is for.
All right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if it reveals itself, then you have to decide.
Yeah,
I earned. Okay.
Yeah,
this is mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna do with it what I said I would do with it.
Exactly.
Got it.
Because I know there's a number of times. All right, when I get this amount of money, I'm gonna do this. And that money shows up, and I'm just like, And then when I finally do it, it all works out. But it's like a year.
Yeah, it took you 6 months to just do the thing you said you was going to do as soon as it touched your pockets.
Yep.
So
it's spoken. You said it like a man of experience.
Oh, dude.
I guess we all go through it.
It's crazy. That's why procrastination is a motherfucker.
Big time.
Do it as soon as it is in your face. Don't let it linger. Because then when you wait around and you ready to do it, then somebody else already did it.
Yep.
And they're just looking at you like, bro.
I will say this though. One thing I was thinking about earlier today, that having said all this, there are some folks out here that really just have it hard up, and I know. Sometimes I like to consider myself a man of principle, and principles are simple by definition. That's why they're principles.
Yeah.
But at the same time there are situations that are extremely difficult.
No, absolutely.
For folks to shake out of. And so while I always say it's not the thought that counts. Results matter ultimately. So even whatever difficult situation you're in, it's the result is ultimately what matters, not even for other people to judge, but for you to progress. But at the same time, I do feel for folks that really got tough spots. And I mean, might be single, working doubles, and got 3 kids, and that's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's not something that's insurmountable, but it's a lot.
That's kind of the point I was trying to make the other day. Is like, I understand at the end of the day, if you're doing stuff that's just not good, then you, at the end of the day, you're doing stuff that's not good. But at the same time, that's where my empathetic side comes in. It's like, well, how would I be handling that situation?
Yeah.
And you can't get too far deep into that and then want to take all the stress and then just want to be all saddy and save them. You can't become Captain Save them.
Saddy.
Yeah. But
yeah, I feel that. I mean,
it's just being, and that's what I'm saying. It's like assertive, not aggressive.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's not. I mean, that's not going to change because even then, the like a lot of times you find someone who's in a spot that's really really difficult. They convince themselves there's nothing else, and it's not until you get aggressive that you can shake the. I'm trying to think of
not aggressive, assertive. I was reading today in a book about the difference between aggression and assertion. Mm-hmm. Assertion is making clear what you want and then making it happen.
Yeah,
that's just asserting yourself.
Yeah,
aggression is demands, like I demand this because I demand it, and going about it harsh and abruptly. And that is, I guess that's what I was arguing against you, is the aggressive side versus the assertive side. Assertiveness is always needed. You always gonna need somebody to go, no, like you need to, like, to establish that, no, I'm telling you this is what you need to be doing, or this is the way it needs to go, or you're doing this wrong.
And then eventually you gotta hit him with the juicy J. Shut the fuck up. Cause yes, assertiveness is always necessary. Yeah. And then there's a point beyond which aggressiveness is also absolutely necessary.
Once you're met with it, you never lead with aggression.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying before.
Bring aggression.
I don't lead with it, but I will introduce it first.
I don't think there's a reason for aggression. Because you can raise your voice assertively and not be detrimental. It's all about the choice of words.
I hear what you're saying.
It all comes down to choice of words, really.
Fair. And because choice of words, tone, etc. And as I said before, I started over here and I progressed until I started to see what was more and more effective, and it's like, this is where I'm at right now. So if someone can demonstrate something more effective without that, by all means. But for me, that's the pocket that
anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Not everything is plausible. And not everything is necessary.
1 out of 100 is possible, but would you rather be 55 out of 100? Mission show.
No, I feel what you're saying.
So
I definitely feel what you're saying.
I'm still gonna be cursing people out.
Master of none. Swiss Army knife, baby.
I'm still gonna be cursing folks out. Is basically what I'm saying. So
I feel you. I don't see the need in cursing people out because I don't. No. Okay. Maybe I might understand. I understand why people get cussed out, and I understand why people cuss people out. Mm-hmm. Because, people be stupid. People be stupid.
So here, I guess to your point the other day, it's do you care about this person? If I don't care about you, I'll never cuss you out. I'll just cut you out of my life. Bye. If I care about you and you're getting to the point where I'm going to have to cut you out, I'm going to get way more aggressive and loud and angry, so you know where you're at. And then after that, I can honestly say that I've done everything I can. And so when you do have to get cut out, it's like I gave you everything from the kid gloves to the Mike Tyson punch, and you ain't responded to none of it. So you can come back. You're welcome back when you got your shit together. Until then, don't talk to me.
That's cool.
Have I ever shown you my friendship circle?
No. No. It's yours.
No, it's a model.
Oh.
So I think I initially called it the act right circle, right? So you big circle, put a little stick man in the middle. Oop. He's hugging himself. You put a stick man in the middle, right? Inside the circle, you label it act right. Okay? This is your friendship circle. Inside your friendship circle, you get to define what it means to act right. And as long as folks are acting right per your definition, they're going to be in your friendship circle. So you set your standards, etc. So if you're delinquent or a hoodlum or a gangbanger, it's gonna be, oh yeah, you got to go get somebody. We got to jump you in, etc. And if you're not with that program, then you're not in the circle, right?
Yeah.
If you're someone who's on the other side who just reads encyclopedias and is all about his study and science, then the folks in your circle are going to be folks who also study or whatever it is they study, and you share intelligence, so on and so forth. And then also whatever your standard of treatment is.
No, yeah.
Whenever someone doesn't act right, kick them out of the circle.
No, yeah.
However, they're welcome back at any time with no resentment, no hard feelings, as long as they're willing to adhere to what your friendship circle requires. And your definition is, you can change your definition from one day to the next. It don't matter. But you have your literal boundary inside of which you get to define what it means to act right.
No, yeah. I mean, I already kind of go off of something like that. I didn't make a model of it, but there's certain values and character traits that I value in people, and interests and just thought processes that I value in people and in myself. That, yeah, if we can't have those conversations, or if you are just on some other shit, I usually don't hang out. I don't really reach out. It is what it is. If you reach out to me, then like, I'm not going to be mean, but like, it is what it is. Like, I talk to the people that I like, that
contribute positively to your
contribute positively to me. I reach out to them. I talk to them.
That act right.
And I don't have that many friends. I have more. All my male friends, I don't really look at as friends. I look at them more as like brothers. So I don't have a lot of like guy friends. A lot of my male friends I've had since like I was a child.
I got, in the inside circle, I would say
actually all of them.
Four about.
No,
that's it. And I don't even, they all live in different places, and we don't even see each other that much. The next circle, probably another, let's say another 5 or so.
No, yeah. I only got like 4 or 5 of my friends, and they're all from childhood. Like 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade is when we met, or before then.
And then they're going to start watching this episode. Is he talking about me? Am I one of the 4? Bro, don't ask me that. If you have to ask, you already know. If you have to ask, that is your answer. That's one of my actually guiding principles as well. If it's a question, that's your answer. If you're like, is this a waste of time? Should I be hollering at this girl? Should I break up? So, yeah, all that.
But
what's the score, baby?
2-6.
SuperGood was super good. I think the highest we've had so far is a 2.7, and it's also, that was the Conway, and we haven't gone back and done episode 1, which was the Nicole Bus, which is probably a 2.9 because it had all greens and one blue?
Mm-hmm. All 15.
Actually, and there's one other. Oh yeah, the K Tornado was hella green.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So at some point we gotta rewatch
and
those. And
D Smoke
was up there. You're right.
He was like all green.
Might be
like all green.
A good
it was
3-0.
like 15, 16 songs.
Yeah.
All green.
Fire. You know what though?
I wonder when he's coming out with a new project.
So what I was getting to though is that it was fire, but it didn't end up having a lot of replay value. Like I bumped it pretty strong for a couple of days, and then it's just
I mean, I guess that's probably also because he doesn't really have a core fan base, like a core sound.
I mean, what does that have to do with me listening to it though?
That's usually what a lot of artists' music that have replay value longer than a few days have. Is you're like a core fan. Like, think about a lot of the people who you still bump. Like, stuff that you've heard already. You're a core fan. Like, you've been a fan for a minute.
Yeah.
We had just found out about D Smoke. And it's like, that's the first project. He only has like 2 projects out. So it's like, you can't really
he's still learning how to make music.
Yeah. He's learning how to make songs that go, like, even though that song probably
not songs that go, but songs that stay.
Actually, no, not even songs. He's just building up a face. You like never seen him before the show on Netflix, right. And honestly haven't seen him since the show on Netflix. I've seen his brother's on NPR. His brother put out some music videos, like,
yeah. I mean, or he went on the show,
got his
dropped the album, maybe cashed out a little something light, and then
Hey, you never know. I hope he keeps making music because he can rap. He raps in Spanish.
I wish everybody nothing but success.
Absolutely.
Every single person.
Always. Every single time.
But that will not mean that I will not express my opinion that some of this should be come across as just trash. But I wish you success. But this year's trash. You know, that's where I'm at.
Hey.
And I hope to be proved wrong.
I'll just say it's not for me. Because if somebody buys shit, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
So it just ain't for me. Do what you do. But that ain't for me.
Good ending note.
So that's the name of this episode. Do what you do. Do what you do. Do what you do. Yeah, you gotta do what you do.
All right, now
It ain't nothing to you, nothing to me. Young Tariq and Kareem. Yeah.
Deuces.